Hey guys, welcome back. Jay here to another F1 23 My Team Career Mode video for episode number 23 today for the Spanish GP in Season 2. This should be a very fun race, as last time in Spain we had a bit of trouble in Season 1 with no fourth gear for the majority of the race, so hopefully we don't have too big of a liability problems with the engine, gearbox, or anything else to do with the car. Just looking at some upgrades that we can maybe bring to the next couple of races. We do have the best engine on the grid right now, but chassis wise and basically everything else except from aero, and so aero and powertrain, we're the top dogs. But apart from that, we're kind of in the midfield, so it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out for the rest of the season if we can jump up the leaderboard, but we'll just have to see how we do in this race to even consider the rest of the season. But now going to quick practice just to get again R&D, some discounts on facility upgrades and upgrades to the actual car. If this is the first episode you're tuning in on, I'd highly recommend you go and see the last video. In Monaco, we brought in a special livery for Monaco to celebrate the Gran Turismo movie coming out, to get an extra bit of PR out of the team and get a bit more involvement in the team. Obviously that doesn't do anything, and it was just almost like a get on thing that I decided we might be fun to do, but no special livery for this GP. Might have a special livery next time out. Sorry, not next time out, for the British GP in 2 races time after Canada, which should be a good race because that's the first race we got points at in our My Team Career Mode, and hopefully we can score more points there. But focusing on this race first, we have to see where we finish here and how much points we score, so we can look at where we are properly in the standings, as we had a really good first race and then we started to fall off just a wee bit after that first race, after after them 2 races after the first race we kind of struggled, but DNFing in the last 3 races, which wasn't the best. In Monaco isn't really a testing to see where you are track, it's more about strategy. So let's get straight into qualifying, where it's literally where speed matters the most in qualifying here in Spain. Back to the old slash new circuit layout, as that was introduced last season. And now just looking at the park performing rules doesn't really concern me too much, as we won't be in violation or any of them. I hope not anyways. But just accelerating time just a wee bit to let the track rubber up, and then we'll go out for our lap on the soft compound tyre. As you can see there, the race is meant to be rainy and sunny, so hopefully it's sunny during the start of the race and rainy during the end, and it's only the last 10 laps or so, so we don't have to worry too much. But now out for my first lap, the car feels okay, doesn't feel too overly quick, setting a purple sector 1, which is always good, but it shows up green for me because it is my first lap out. The car does feel a lot more responsive than it did in Monaco, which is always good to get a bit more turning. But after that first lap we do put ourselves in 9th, so not too bad, but that's a really bad exit out of turn 2, setting us up for turn 3 on the rundown. Into turn 4 we only have 1 lap left of fuel, so this will be our final one of our last runs in Q1. Hopefully we can put in a good lap. Well, we are going to come across the line to set P9 once again, out for another lap. 4 minutes remaining of this session. Down into turn 1, can we get a good entry? No, we can. A lot riding on that apex. I just can't seem to hit that apex Right, but everybody has their problems with certain circuits, but by the end of the lap we do set a purple sector, one that was unexpected, but it worked somehow. But now down into turn 1 for our final lap in Q1. Again, it's a really bad exit through the first apex, but by the end of that lap we do finish 11th in qualifying. 5 tenths separate the top 11, only 4 tenths separate the top 10, so it is a very close field in Spain in Q1 anyways. So hopefully we have a lot more drama. Lance Stroll, Guan Yu, Alexander Albon, Arumu Awasa, Logan Sargent and Nick De Vries, who is still in Formula 1 in his second season, no longer a first season rookie, still has to get used to the car. I'm going to guess as he finishes P22, I'm surprised AlphaTauri and Helmut Marko haven't kicked him out yet and put Daniel Ricciardo in that seat, but we'll just have to see what the mid-season transfers bring in store. But that was Q1. Hopefully we can have a better Q2 than we did Q1. Maybe finish just a wee bit higher in the standings in Q2. Now out for our first lap in Q2. Actually, that was the end of our first lap. We do finish P2 after that lap. It was a pretty decent lap. Hitting the apex is a bit more than last time, but now just going for a cooldown lap here so we can recharge ERS and then push a lot through our third lap. It will be third lap in Q2. Hopefully we can replicate what we did and go even faster. But now stepping on the throttle, proper foot to the floor, deploying DRS, and ERS is on the hot lap option, but we're flying down into turn 1. We're about half a tenth down on the last time, hitting the apex down into turn 1. A lot better than Q1. We hit the apex both of them turns. Coming across the line now, a tenth up on a time, and it's 0.008 separating me and Charles Leclerc. As we've moved down into 4th now, as I think the McLaren has went fastest in Q2, but we're going to find out as we come around the final turn now to start our final flying lap in this session. We're going to cross the line to start our final lap, but we are going to finish P4 by the end of that lap. It wasn't a bad lap by any means, but it wasn't the best. We did have a lot of potential to go faster, but fourth is only a tenth of Lando Norris, who goes fastest in Q2. As you can see there, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen, Liam Lawson, and if I scroll down, which I'm not because I am too preoccupied by 1 tenth separating the top 4, but then it's Oscar Piastri and Valtteri Bottas get knocked out. But after it's 4 tenths to P5. So Sergio Perez set a really bad lap, or we're setting absolutely amazing laps. The top 4, which is to be isn't expected for me anyways with the car we have, and that is saying that we are in a midfield battle to go P4 and be that close to the pole, the fastest time in Q2, but being that far away from P5 in Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. But here we go for our first lap here in Q3, and this is where it all basically depends on hitting the apex into turn 1, hitting the apex into turn 2. As the car feels a lot smoother as I can just control it just that wee bit more. We take a wee bit of a tighter racing line going on the curb just to extract as much time, but we are going to come across the line to go fastest in Q3, and we've got provisional pole on our first lap. That probably will be taken away from us, but it's not too late to dream. We hit the apex going in to turn 1. We're second in the timesheets. We're going to come across the line now, deploying DRS. We're going to come across the line to go P2 and improve on our time again. Well, this is our third lap. We're about half a tenth up on our time now. We're about half a tenth down on our time, but we are going to cross the line and we're a tenth down on Sergio Perez. I just can't extract the time after that flyer of a lap set in provisional pole. But by the end of it, we're going to come down into 7th place. It's not a bad lap time at all by any means to separate me from pole. So again, not a bad lap at all, but then it's 3 tenths separating Charles Leclerc from Lando Norris. And by the end of it, Carlos Sainz is 6 tenths off of the pace. Again, only the top 10 separated by a tenth more than have a second. 6 tenths, so not bad at all, but let's go to the race.
Welcome along everyone to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, and it hasn't been used since 2007. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Iceman, Leclerc, Gasly, Ocon, Magnussen, Liam Lawson, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Joe, Albon, Iwasa, Sainz, Sargent, Tsunoda, and Nick de Vries. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to power unit component changes. It's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a much more aggressive approach today to make up for that compromised start.
Lining up on the grid now, we're just going to try and fiddle with the strategy just a wee bit, lowering the fee. Well, we were about to lower the fuel, but now thinking about it, I'm going to try and change the strategy just a wee bit. Actually, looking at it, we're going to lose a lot of time no matter if we do soft first stint or a hard soft stint. Yes, we might be a wee bit faster at the start of the race, but it just won't be worth it. So we are going to go for the hard to medium set strategy, but here we go to the lights now. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights and 5 lights, and it now is lights out and away we go. It's a wee bit of a slow start for myself, but it's a slower start for Lewis Hamilton as we rocket ship past him. But there's a wide open gap on the left side of the track. I'm going to squeeze into that, maybe not squeeze, but I'm going to squeeze right round the outside of both the Red Bulls, and we go from P7 all the way up into P2 by turn 3. We get back both of the Red Bulls, and again behind Lando Norris, and this is not the first time we've been behind Lando Norris as he's led the race and we've been second. And this might be the start of a new rivalry, me against Lando Norris. We've always had a wee bit of a hard relationship in our alternate My Team Career Mode series. In Season 1 we were a wee bit feisty with each other, but hopefully nothing too drastic this season. But now in P2 we're going to have to try and conserve our tyres as much as we can. That's probably the only way we're going to win this race, as Lando's going to go for the slower strategy. He's going to go soft to mediums, I'm pretty sure, and if not, then he's going to go soft to hards, or he's going to do a 2-stop and go soft hard medium or soft medium hard. But we'll just have to wait and see. But on lap 3 of this race now, Lando Norris got the fastest lap, and Alexander Albon is out of this race. It's a bad start for Alexander Albon in that Aston Martin, and that will damage his confidence just a wee bit. But here comes Mr. Max Verstappen. He's going to try the outside line into my least favourite turn in Spain. I'm going to try and keep the inside line going on to the outside line down. How we go now into this left-hander. He's going to try and stay tight, but in turn I'm going to get a better run around the outside, getting better traction on Max Verstappen. But we are going to go to the next chicane side by side. I'm going to push him just a wee bit into the inside, and we do get past Max Verstappen again, and we're back up into P2, and we're going to try and chase down Mr. Lando Norris now, as there comes Mr. Lewis Hamilton on the soft compound tyre. He's on a charge. He's going to try and do what Lando Norris is doing, as he's right behind me now, going down into turn 1. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. We're going to go down into turn 1 side by side. We're going to have the inside line pushing him just a wee bit wide. We do stay ahead of him, and now Fernando Alonso is up into P3. The McLarens are absolutely flying around Spain, and this might be the start of their dominance once again in Formula 1 and go back to the top after Red Bull and Mercedes dominating for so long. We were going to pit on lap 11, but I'm going to stay out for a extra lap, and hopefully that doesn't damage our race too much as we go up into P1 now. We're going to try and set a really good lap, because that's what you need to do. You're going to go for the overcuts on someone else, or the undercut on Mr. Fernando Alonso. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. If you're going to try and go for that now, you're going to have to set a really good lap, but we do set a red sector 1, so that's not the best. As Fernando Alonso's backed up just a wee bit there, as he's right behind me, and now we're going to dive into the pits. It's a slow pit entry for us, but we are going to try and get a good pit stop. But Fernando Alonso is going to pit at the same time as me, and that's proper screwed up my plans, as everybody else is on a soft compound tyre. Well, sorry, the people that haven't pitted yet are all on a soft compound tyre, but they are coming in to the pits now. It's going to be a 2.4 to 2.5 second pit stop. We're all going to come into the pits, and it's longer than that. It's a 4.8 second pit stop. It's absolutely disastrous. We've had an absolute mare of a pit stop in Spain, a 4.8 second pit stop, and it's a problem with the rear right tyre. Absolutely horrendous pit stop. Oh, that's screwed up my race a lot, and that's mean I'm gonna have to push just that wee bit extra. But down into turn one now, it's like 5 wide, 5 cars battling. We do bump the end of Sergio Perez, back end of Sergio Perez, but we do get past him, and now it's 3 wide, I think, going round this right-hander. Max Verstappen is just ahead, but going into this chicane, I'm going to try and follow one of these cars through. Who's it's going to be? It's going to be Fernando Alonso on that outside line. That's perfect for my racing line, as I just drifted. I'm pushing Fernando Alonso through that uphill right-hander. But now we're going to try and dive bomb him into this left-hander. As you can see there, it's starting to rain on my camera, and you can see it on the cars. It's streaking down the halo of the car. It started to pour down in the final 7 to 8 laps in this race. It's going to be a drastic change in weather, as it starts to pour down real heavy now as we go down into turn 1. I get overtaken by Fernando Alonso. Here comes Pierre Gasly trying to go around the outside of me going down into turn 1. Pushing Fernando Alonso just a wee bit too tight into that inside. He goes across the curb. We do get past him though. No warnings, no penalties. Always the way you would like to overtake someone and not damage your race any further than it might already be. But now on lap 18 of this race, the rain started to pour down just a wee bit more as I slide onto the outside curb. We're going to try and dive bomb Max Verstappen, braking a lot later, as we have a lot more grip than Max Verstappen for some reason, as he just wanted to brake a lot earlier to get a lot more confidence into the slower left-hander. But we do get past Max Verstappen, and it is still flat out through the penultimate turn as we go through the final turn. Not quite flat out in any condition. You can try and take flat out, but you need the right setup. But into P5 now, as the rain started to pour down quite a lot, and my engineer is saying about a different tyre, but he does think we're on the right tyre for now. But it's proper raining now, as the track is visibly wet and there's visible spray on the cars, and they're really hard to control. You're not getting enough grip to turn in, and Sergio Perez, his pass made DRS, is still enabled, but we're going to use our ERS to just get a slipstream on him. But here comes Max Verstappen down into turn 1. Sergio Perez brakes a lot earlier than me. I take in tight inside line. We go off the track just a wee bit. We do make the move before we went off track though, so it is legal. Somehow as the car almost spins me into the wall, that might have been karma for going for a dangerous move down into turn 1, but by the final lap it's really hard to control the car, and I can't get a the correct racing line, and there goes Sergio Perez. Sorry, it's Max Verstappen down into P8. He goes a wee bit too tight, not getting enough grip, but we do come around the final turn now a bit slower than usual. We're going to deploy a wee bit ERS. No, we're not. We're going to make it to the line safely. And we do finish P5 in the Spanish GP.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over, and what a special race it was. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers
Finishing P5 in that race, not a bad race at all, starting P7. Would have liked to finish on the podium, but you got to make do with what you get. There is Carlos Sainz setting the fastest lap of the race, as he just gets an extra point because he finished in the top 10. It was a good race. The car felt okay, nothing too much, but our teammate does not get points once again. And Oscar Piastri is really struggling in our car while we are scoring points, but P9 in the championship, 32 points. As Lewis Hamilton now leads the championship, but P7 in the constructors, not too bad, not too shabby at all, but it was a good race. Just looking at some of the team stats here, some of the acclaim, maybe we'll get to level 20 by the end of the season. That will be a nice way to round off the season. We do get about $500,000 of cash from that race, renewing our sponsors. But if you did like that video, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment and stuff, helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you next time for the Canadian GP, where we might score points once again, but we'll have to wait and see.